I don't know what time it is, guys. It's a bad day for me. But I'm here. It's July 4th. So wherever you guys are, I hope you're having a great day. I know there's a lot of bad weather all over the world. So I'm praying that wherever you're at, you're safe and all that jazz. I will definitely speed this video up for you guys so you don't have to go through all of the stuff that I'm going through. Why am I here? Just shooting the breeze, that's all. I wanted to share something because, first of all, just pray for me, you know, for the physical, the spiritual. You know, some of us really like to think that we're letting the world go, but I can still tell you that it's still embedded deep within us. And I'll give you an example. So I need prayer because whether it's in the physical and, you know, people in the world that run the world are causing it, or if it's spiritual, well, then we all need the discernment to know one from the other. And so thanks to a sister in Christ, Sister Kathleen, she had put a post on her channel and I had watched the video, and you guys, I don't know why these things happen. I'm never thinking about the thoughts that come into my mind when I'm doing or reading or watching something, and it's just like right there. I wasn't thinking about it at all. And I can tell you this, when I was watching the video, I was like, wow, I am so thankful how the Lord works through his children in different ways. The way he works with me is going to be different than how he works with you or someone else. And this, I don't watch, I'm not familiar with the channel. I couldn't even tell you. I think the title of the channel, I think it has like Jesus in the title, but I'm not aware of this person. It was the only video I watched. And I was just like, wow, I'm just so thankful how the Lord works. And of course, then the problem within that is knowing the truth from those that are false, because there are many false prophets and false people who deceive. And I know the children of the Lord, those that call themselves Christians, would like to believe that they're always going to know right from wrong and light from dark because, well, it wasn't scary, you know. But yet, I don't think Eve and Adam were scared in the garden when they were deceived by the false light. Even in the New Testament, there will be many that are deceived because they love a lie. Are they scared? It's not because they're scared. It's because the lie looked so good that they were deceived. So yes, the Lord does tell us to test all spirits, but it doesn't mean it's going to be that simple. Anyway, I'm kind of getting off on a tangent. I watched this video. I was like, this woman seemed very sincere. And I believe that, you know, she had these dreams or visions about what she was talking about. And I was just like, I was in awe. I mean, I am so thankful when the Lord works through people to get a message out. And like I said, I wasn't thinking anything but that. And then all of a sudden, what came across my mind, just like that in an instant, was some things that had been happening to me when we got back to the States. I know some of you guys know that we were in Okinawa for a couple of years. And I don't want to go into like every single detail, so I'm not going to. But when we got back to the States, and I think we arrived back March 3rd of 2020. And if you guys want me to, in a different video, I'll explain, you know, why we came back and all of that. Or if you guys want to know anything else, I'll make a different video. But you can comment down below if you want me to do that. But we got back, and you know, mind you, I'm sleeping now. I've had insomnia for about 20 years, so I don't get very much sleep. And I start, so when we got back, we arrived back in Utah, and we were, I guess, in a hotel for a couple of days. We got the RV out of storage, and we'd been staying in that for a little while. And I think, and we were mainly in Idaho when we were in the RV. We were in Idaho, just above the border of Utah. And we decided that we didn't want to spend as much money as we were spending because my husband was still looking for a job, because when we came back to the States, he was to have an interview, but that got put on hold. I mean, he had the interview, but it was over the phone. And then with the way things continued to get crazy, they just like, well, we're putting everything on hold. So we found a cheap apartment. They were apartments for college students, but it was in the summer. So they, all the college kids were back at home, and they would rent them out to whoever. And so it was pretty cheap. I can't even remember. It was pretty cheap though. I want to say like $300 or something a month. And I think it was like even more than that for college students, because they charge each student, and they had 4 beds. Was it 4 beds? I think it was 4 beds. So 2 in each room. And so they would charge each student. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. Sorry, guys. Oh, well, okay. I'm sorry. Sometimes I lose thought too when the pain just hits. Where was I? Okay, so we were in Utah. We were staying in these apartments, and okay, so I would go to bed, and this is where it started. I started seeing these things. I wouldn't even be sleeping yet. I would like close my eyes, and I would start seeing like these. I'm not going to say pictures, because in my mind a picture is like a still image. Okay. What I'm talking about is like a show or a movie. It would just like be playing right behind my closed eyelids, right? Because I knew I wasn't sleeping. I was aware of what was going on around me, and I had literally just closed my eyes, and it would start playing out this scene, and here's where the world comes in. I'm aware of 5G and the technologies, brain to skull, and things like that. I'm familiar with those types of things, and I was like really worried that now that we're back in the States, is this what's going on? We're in Utah. I'm not going to go into all of that, but I know they recruit a lot of people from out there, for these 3-letter agencies and things like that. And they have the data center that collects all the information on all of you guys. Me too. They collect it all. So I was seeing this stuff, and I was really worried that, I was having something work on me that wasn't good. And so I don't remember, these movie-like scenes, whether it was a vision or not. I really couldn't tell you, because I was worried because of what the world has instilled into me. Do you guys understand that? Because of what I know of the world. It's easy to know of the world when you see, you read, all of those things. It's the spiritual that is more difficult to figure out. And so I would be praying. I was like, Lord, if this is this, then, help me get through this, and, like just stop it, right? And this was happening a lot. And so we moved, and I mean, it happened a few times out there. And then we moved to the Midwest for a job, and we didn't tell anyone where we were living, because quite frankly, everything that we knew in our hearts about what was going on, nobody wanted to listen and think that and they just thought you were crazy. And so I was just angry, I was angry. I was like, I don't want anyone to know, because my husband asked, he's like, well, are you going to tell, your kids and things like that? And I was like, I don't want anyone to know. And I had family in that state, and I was just like, no, I was angry, you guys. I was really angry, because I couldn't figure out how things could be so normal, and just like that, like the very next day, it wasn't anymore. And how quickly people jumped on that. They couldn't. It's like that logical side of their brain they should be using, like it was turned off. The switch was turned off, and there was no critical thinking, no logical. It was just all based on emotions and what the mainstream was shoving down their throats day in, day out. And it just made me so angry. So I just didn't want to deal with anyone. Now, as this was going on, we're in this small town, and it wasn't every night, but it was a lot that it really worried me. And, with someone who has a lot of back pain, migraines, you worry about stuff like that. Like, what's going on? Like, I know it sounds nutty, but, you're thinking about MK Ultra and all this stuff, which is true. And so you're praying against it. And the last time that I had those things happen to me, where it looks like just, life being played out, was when we were living in the RV down here. And I would just pray against it all the time. And then some of the things that I saw when we were down here in the Panhandle which is in a video I think that was posted a couple of years ago, maybe February or March of 2 years ago, of what I saw. And so I know that the spiritual is real. Why is this coming up? So I said, you know, I watched this video of this woman. She was having a dream, and I don't know if I'll post it, but Sister Kathleen, she has it on her channel on her post. But yeah, as I was like thanking the Lord for, you know, showing us these things through others, I was just so thankful. And then all of a sudden that was there, and I had to think, because, you know, like I said, I wasn't thinking about that particular part of my life, and I was like, whoa, you know, because I was so scared that it was one thing, could it have been something else that I was seeing and I was supposed to see? And I had to repent for that, because, you know, we let our fears, you know, we let the world creep in, and, you know, we don't ask all the right questions. So I was like, Lord, you know, if that was you trying to show me, and I was so scared, you know, because he's not going to give you something that you're not ready for. And he wants us to put all of those worries behind us. He wants us to put this world behind us and trust in him. And sorry. He wants us to trust in him. And I was just, you know, sometimes we think that our experiences that the Lord gives us is supposed to look the same as others, and that's not how he works with us. He works with us on an individual basis, and it's not going to look the same. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to sound, look, or and you're not going to hear it the same, because what he is trying to extract from you is something totally different. We're all lacking something in our lives, and how it comes across, you know, what we need may be from a particular person. I mean, maybe the person who would love to be that person for you isn't the person. Does that make sense? We generally don't think like that. And so we need to be praying about all these things. But so another reason I'm here is because, so this morning, just a bad day. Which I didn't want to do this. And the Lord's like, why are you still worried about what others think about you? I'm sorry, guys. But, you know, sometimes you're just having a bad day. The pain is so bad, you don't want anyone to know about it. I mean, because the ones you live with, they see it all the time, and you just feel like a burden. And you don't want anyone else outside of that to see it. Gosh, guys, I'm sorry. But anyway, so I couldn't take it anymore, so I just went back into the bedroom to lay down, and I was just asking the Lord. I asked the Lord this a lot, to take this from me, this pain, which is a different story altogether. You know, sometimes we go through this because it is a test, you know, of our faith. And sometimes we've made promises or pacts with the Lord, maybe even very young, that you forget about and are brought back into remembrance. And they're tests. You know, these are our trials. Like, he doesn't tell us how he's going to test us either. But anyway, I was laying there. I was talking to him about taking this pain away. And then all of a sudden, and I'm not sleeping. You guys, I'm not sleeping. You don't understand. When I have this pain, there is no sleeping. So I closed my eyes. I'm talking to him, and all of a sudden I see these 2 explosions. And the best thing, how I can describe it, is they look like these huge thunderheads, okay, that, you know, really build up, but they were explosions. There's 2 of them. So as I'm looking at this tablet right here, the one on the left was larger than the one on the right, but they were like this fiery red, orange, yellow on the outside, glowing, pretty bright explosions. But everything around that, and they seem to be like maybe on a waterfront. I only say that because it seemed dark out, and there was water, and then just darkness, but the darkness and the water looked like blood red. And it was quicker than what I'm telling you. It was just almost like in a you know, like a split second when I saw this, and that was it. That was it. And then maybe that was at 9:40 this morning. And then I'm gonna say about maybe 7 minutes later, I saw there was no seeing. It was more of a feeling that there was a storm, because I knew there was trees blowing ferociously, you know, except that I didn't see them, but spiritually I saw them. But I did see like leaves being carried away from the branches. And so I knew there was a storm. And once again, that was like a split second. And so my explanation to you guys is a lot longer than what I actually saw, because there's always more impressions and things when you are in that moment. And so it was like a spiritual storm. But then when I actually said that in my mind, this came across too, that it would, you know, roll over into the physical. So that's where all this led to. And all like 24 minutes later, just to get here is just, I know it's terrible, but I'm such a slow explainer, because I think I have to add all these other details into everything. But with all that being said, we really need to, I guess, re-examine ourselves all the time, because no matter how close we continue to get to the Lord, there's always something that's holding us back. And I doubt myself a lot. I don't doubt the Lord. It's myself. I'm worried that, you know, I'm not. Look, Satan plays a big part in what we do or don't do, what we say or don't say. And he's going to use all of that against us. He knows us just almost about as well as the Lord. It's why they can accuse us day and night. So, like I said, we need to re-examine and really put all of our worries and cares upon the Lord to help us here. Because, you know, our scriptures, the more I read, and I'm sad to say this, I only got through one chapter today. I can't read, I can't watch anything when I'm having this pain and headaches and things. And so I only got through one chapter before I had to stop. But and I forgot again what I was saying, and that's another problem with these headaches. You know, I'll lose track of, you know, what I was talking about. But we need to get right. We need to really put the world behind us and put all of this on him. Let him take care of it. You and I can't do anything anyway without him. I know many people think that they do all on their own accord, but they couldn't do anything if they didn't have the life that they have. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I think I was going to say, you know, the more we get closer to the Lord, we always think that we've put the world behind us, but there's always something that snares us. And we need to take all of this to him and be grateful and for all the blessings that he has bestowed upon us, because we need to always be thankful for everything, no matter what we're going through. And once again, it's going to be different for each one of us, guys. Where we're at right now, we don't want to be here, but we are here because it is a blessing. And once again, if you guys want to hear that, you can put that down in the comments. But it's not fun. I mean, all of this is, I know some might think, oh, well, you're in such a great place, you know, look what you have. This isn't ours. It's not ours. And don't wish that you were somewhere, because when you wish that means you're taking on everything that person comes with, okay? And just like me or someone else, don't wish that you were somewhere else, and don't forget that the blessings that you do have. Okay, so I'm gonna end it there. I don't know what I'll title this, but be praying for me. I'm gonna pray for you guys all. I know a lot of you guys are probably barbecuing or something. I don't see anything to celebrate. A lot of you guys voted for the one that's there in the White House and passed a whole bunch of things that aren't good for us. So I hope you guys are happy with all of that. Happy with being spied on. And I mean, we've been spied on since the early 2000s, but I mean, now you guys really, I hope you guys are happy with that. I don't know. Okay, my sarcasm is coming out a little bit. I apologize, but on the other hand, I don't, because I just don't understand. I don't understand, and I'm gonna leave it there. I do love you guys all, and I know when I get like this, it doesn't seem like it, but I do. It's just I don't understand the thinking behind when everything is in the Word, and I don't understand it all. But what I do understand, I always think about, why don't you understand what I understand? Because in my mind, you guys are supposed to be smarter than me. I mean, you guys went to school, you guys have, you know, these certificates of higher education. Why don't you know? So I always have that in my mind, like, you guys should know this. I'm gonna leave it there. Again, I'm sorry. I do ask for your forgiveness. Whether you give it to me or not is all on you, but I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.